All right, we're recording. I watched your picture, though. What'd you do?
I don't know. What did I do?
You shut your video off.
I don't know how I shut my video off.
Oh, all right. Ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Check. All right. Yeah. Hey, girl. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm hanging in there.
Good.
It's officially the first day of 2022.
Yes. 2022. Woohoo! I am ready for a new year. Fresh start.
Yeah, because we had like 2 2020s in a row.
It seemed like it. It seemed like the 2020 was just like one long year that lasted 2 solid years.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah. So, last week I messed up. And I said our show would be in 2 weeks on January 2nd. Obviously, that's only a week. So hopefully the listeners understand that I've just...
If you said January 2nd, I'm sure they figured it out. Or they, like, their app notified them, hey, there's a new episode, look.
Yeah, it will. But I was like, we're every other week now, but our next one will be January 2nd. So I kind of messed that up.
It's a bonus extra. Whoop.
Yeah. Oh, wait, though. Last week was our Christmas episode, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
All right. So I went and looked for The Man Who Invented Christmas, as we talked about.
Yes. Did you watch it?
Not yet, because I decided I needed to watch The Christmas Carol. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
What was it? Like, it was already after Christmas by the time we recorded, so it was like 3 or 4 days later, and I'm watching The Christmas Carol. But I started like 3 to 5 different Christmas carols, and I'm like, this sucks. And I can't watch the one with Jim Carrey. You're right, there was one, but it was not live action, it was animated. I hate animation.
Uh-huh.
So I watched the 1984 one.
Oh. Yeah. That's a good one.
It was. I couldn't find the original, which is what I wanted to watch.
I kind of like the Mickey Mouse version.
Oh, me too. But I wanted to be an adult for the next time we talked about it. I love that one. I mentioned it last week.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yes.
I mean, like...
I mentioned it. I love that one. So, but I did watch it, but then my mother came, and we did Christmas after Christmas, and then we had to do New Year's Eve before New Year's Eve, because she's babysitting on New Year's Eve, which happened to be last night.
Yeah, it seems like that whole week is like nothing but, we got to get together for yet another Christmas or yet another family dinner, or it's just like blah.
Yeah. So I had a busy week, but it is on my list, and I am gonna watch it very soon. So hopefully we can talk about it next time, or one of the times. But,
yeah, I really enjoyed. But
yeah,
so you also.
I like that stuff. So
yeah.
All right. So our article is medium length today. So we're gonna get How was your New Year's Eve? Let's back up. Let's not skip over your New Year's Eve.
I kind of want to skip over my New Year's Eve.
Oh, you can if you want, but I didn't know if there was any anecdotes you wanted to tell or...
oh my gosh. So,
be careful in case people listen that you're about to talk about.
I know. She won't listen. So my friend, who's 85, she is a lot wilder of a person than I am. And she drugged me out on New Year's, which I haven't been out for New Year's in probably at least 15 years. In fact, I can only think of like maybe 2 or 3 times that I went out for New Year's. So we're in a bar doing karaoke on New Year's, which...
Is there video of you doing karaoke?
I don't think so.
Oh, damn it.
Not this time anyway. I don't. She posts on Facebook, but she doesn't know how to tag. So thank God I'm not tagged in any of these.
Oh. I'm going to go look up your friends and see if they're...
And she always has to take a picture when we're out, always, and post them on Facebook. So I look like a total butterfly. And then she always has to take a picture while we're dancing. She makes me dance and then says, "Oh, take a picture of us dancing." And I'm always like, because I don't dance well, and then to have a picture like while I'm mid twitch or something, I don't know. I don't think anybody really, besides like professional dancers, like taking a picture while you're dancing. But she has to do it every single time, and so that I don't know. And she's like,
"Here we go. Come on, get to it."
She's so much wilder of a person. Like we're both single. And apparently, she's decided she has to have a kiss at midnight. She had to have a New Year's kiss. And so she's like looking around the bar. She's like, "Who am I kissing at midnight?" And I'm like, "I don't know." She's like, "Pick one, Becca. I'm going to go for it." And you keep in mind, she's 85. And I'm just sitting there going, "You're doing what?"
Well, when you first told me the story, I thought she meant she was kissing you at midnight.
No, thank God, that's not what she had intended. But yeah, no, she actually went to the owner of the bar and said, "I'm kissing you at midnight," and I think his wife was there. I don't know, but he ended up kissing Bev at midnight, and she was extremely happy. And then she tried to get phone numbers from a whole bunch of guys, and I was just kind of, I don't know. I was there.
I hope that's me at 85.
Bev is something else. I tell you what, she's fun to go out with because she is so much wilder than I am. But she's not like the kind of wild to get me into a lot of trouble.
Just enough to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's 85.
Yeah. Reminds me of my stepmother. Seriously. So, that's awesome. We don't want to tell too much, so that's enough of your New Year's Eve, but...
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, we can't give names. We can't, for the sake of, if it was my New Year's, I would give names, but Rebecca is very respectful.
Yeah, no, Bev is, whoops, and I said her name. Bleep that out.
You've said it like 8 times.
She's a sweet person, and she definitely knows she's wild, so.
You didn't say nothing bad. I want to be her when I'm 85, so.
Same.
Yep.
I just hope I am out running around the bars trying to pick up guys at 85.
I'm not her at 44.
I know. Like, yeah, she's trying to pick up guys who are like 30, 40 years younger than she is. 30, 40 years younger.
Right? Okay. Yeah. All right. What are we reading today? What am I making fun of?
Okay, so this one is about DNA, ancestry DNA testing, and it's kind of an interesting one because I think like they always run a sale at Christmas on ancestry DNA kits. So like maybe some of you guys got a DNA kit for Christmas and are thinking about turning it in for ancestry, which full disclosure, I have done this. I enjoy like looking at my DNA profile. So, and totally get into the whole genealogy thing.
I love genealogy, but I just, I don't want to find out like my dad's not my dad or one of my long-distance cousins murdered somebody.
Right. Yeah, so that's kind of what this article is about.
Yeah.
Stop. I don't know if you hear my dog chewing on her butt.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, this one is called How a Childhood Halloween Photo Helped a Woman Uncover a Killer in Her Family Tree. And this is a CBS News article. You still there, Shay?
Yeah.
Okay. You just were really quiet. Like, hey.
I couldn't think of anything funny to say about CBS because they're reliable.
Oh, well, okay. In 2003, Chelsea Rustad, I don't know what that name is, was 31 years old and realized she could not name a single one of her great-grandparents. As she told 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty, it's not that far back, right? But I couldn't name them. So Rustad, a resident of Tumwater, Washington, went online to build her family tree. She learned her roots stretched from Washington State through North Dakota and back to Norway. She found new relatives and connected with them on social media. But it was a second cousin she never spoken to who turned out to be the one that would change her life forever. And the Halloween photo from when she was just 5 years old that set the whole process in motion.
Ooh.
Yeah. Why? Dun, dun, dun.
I know I was going to do that. I didn't do it this time. I usually do.
Need some, that's quite the cliffhanger there, man. You want to read the whole article now, right?
Well, I want you to read it to me. I don't want to read it, but...
Wherever there's a branch of the tree that or an individual that there's very little info on, I'm kind of extra curious about that person. You know, like, why is there nothing on them, quote unquote, she said. Oh, and I totally get that. When you're doing the genealogy stuff, it's like you want to dig for those. Like, why is there not a lot of on this person, or the ones that have, like, interesting stuff and, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love, someday I'll do it, but I just, you know.
It can be really addictive. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it sounds really dry, but it's actually a lot of fun.
Matt's mother did it. Not to interrupt, but, you know, that's my job on the show. Matt's mother did it. Jesus Christ. I moved out of there in 2007, 2008, somewhere around there. So she did it a long time ago. Like when it first started coming out, and it was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. There's something about finding articles about people and learning about that person and knowing that they're related to you and they're a part of your family.
And my mother's adopted. So that
Yeah.
would be interesting. All right, back to the story. Sorry.
Okay, so when she started her search, Rustad had found a family of second cousins from Snohomish County. I don't know how you say that. Snohomish?
God bless you.
Yeah, that county. The Talbots. Rustad was able to connect and exchange messages with the sister, but their brother, William Earl Talbot II, was all but invisible.
Sorry.
The most striking thing about him would be his absence. He doesn't have a social media presence, no Facebook, no Instagram, no Twitter, no YouTube. Boy, she is like really digging on this guy, man. I don't know that I ever went quite that far. Anyway.
I would.
Rustad told Moriarty in A Killer in the Family Tree, usually people have some type of internet presence and there just was nothing for him, and I thought that was kind of strange. Rustad continued her genealogy work, adding great-great-grandparents and building out branches of her tree. In 2015, she entered an Ancestry DNA contest, submitting a photo of herself at 5 years old, dressed as a ballerina on Halloween. It's a really cute picture, guys, so check out the art.
I saw the picture. I can't read the article, guys, so I'm just listening.
Yeah, picture's super cute. That photo must have been a lucky charm because out of hundreds of entries, Rustad was one of the 2 to receive a free home DNA test kit. She took the test, sometimes called a spit kit, and her results confirmed the ancestry she had already mapped in her family tree. Then Rustad took a crucial next step, posting her raw DNA from the kit to a website called GED Match. where users can share the results in an open database. And I have done GED Match, and if you haven't done it, go do it, because if you've done the ancestry testing, you download your metadata into a zip file, you upload it to GED Match, and then you can do all kinds of really cool stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, you can find out. So, like those bog people mummies they find, like when they find people like frozen in caves, cavemen and stuff, they do an ancestry DNA or do a DNA profile on them. So you can take your ancestry DNA and find out if you're related to those bog people or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Plus, not only that, but you can take an upload and like check and find out how your body processes caffeine and all kinds of different stuff. That GED Match is just...
My body is all caffeine. It's all coffee.
See? There you go. I found out that my body processes caffeine at like a higher rate. So oh my gosh, you're probably going to like eyes are going to glaze over at this point, but caffeine has a half-life of 12 hours. So if you drink a cup of coffee, it's in your system for 12 hours. And anyway, it's only in my body for 6 hours. So I process caffeine a lot faster than other people. But yeah, I learned that on GD Match. So anyway, if you've done
Ancestry, that's interesting.
When you go to GD Match, they talk you through the process of how to download.
Yeah, but I drink like 6 pots of coffee a day.
See, make one of those type of people.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's really, really interesting, and you can like some of the genetic testing that you would do at a doctor's office, you can actually do from like downloading your ancestry DNA and uploading it to GED Match.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's really cool and really fascinating, and every once in a while I'll go and check out and see what else they've got, but it's fun. Rustad spent about an hour on GED Match, which I can tell you right now, you can spend way more than an hour on that day. That day in 2015, after uploading her data, but she didn't have any new family members and didn't think about it again until 2018 when police knocked on her front door.
Uh-oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
In April of 2018, the Golden State Killer was arrested in California after familial DNA was used to identify a suspect from crime scene DNA. When Snohomish County Detective Jim Scharf heard that news, he wondered if the same process would work on a notorious cold case in Washington State he'd been trying to solve for many years. The 1987 murders of Tanya Van Colenberg, 18, and her boyfriend Jay Cook of age 20. The couple had disappeared while running a long-distance errand to Seattle from their homes in British Columbia.
In the van, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
They had been found in 2 separate and horrific crime scenes in Washington State the following week. Cook had been strangled, beaten to death, and left near a river in Snohomish County, more than an hour north of Seattle. Van Kulenberg was the victim of an apparent rape and had been shot in the head. Her body was found by the side of the road in Skagit County, about an hour north of Cook's. Cook's van was found in a town near the Canadian border, parked near a bus station inside border. Van Kulenberg's pants stained with stranger semen that matched semen recovered from her body. Oh, so they had some evidence on this one. It was just
before the time.
Right, exactly.
They were doing he was working for his dad. Again, I can't read the article, so if I'm wrong, guys, I'm sorry. And she decided to go, and they're 17 to 19, 20? They're young. They're very young.
Yeah, like 1920, but
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I remember I don't know if you heard it, but you got like halfway through the first paragraph, and I whispered, I remember this one. The 48 hours one. I remember it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Sorry.
After hearing of the Golden State Killer suspect's arrest, Detective Sharp reached out to Parabon Nanolabs, a company that had been doing DNA work with his office, who was connected with their genealogy expert, Stacey Moore.
She's awesome. She has a show.
Yeah.
She has her own show on Oxygen. There's some episodes, and I believe I'm pretty sure it's oxygen. If not, it's just ID. But check it out. It's awesome.
It sounds good.
It's
really
all
good.
DNA and how it works and how she is, and it's a good show. Check it out for real. If you have cable, it's free. You don't need to download an app.
Awesome. That's the best.
Yep.
Moore had been unraveling family secrets for adoptees and others for many years, and was a master at building family trees using consumer DNA, a practice called genetic genealogy that Moore had helped pioneer.
Mm-hmm.
Within days, Parabon had uploaded the suspect DNA from Van Cuylenburg's pants to GED Match to see if the unknown suspect might have a match from among the fewer than 1 million GED Match users. Moore waited anxiously for a list of matches, relatives who shared enough DNA with the suspect to be extended family members. Would she be able to find a name for this unknown suspect after all this time? Moore told Moriarty, "We're hoping for at least a second cousin or closer at the top of that list. We can work cases with much more distant matches, but that's really optimal. And we used to call that being lightning." "Were you struck by lightning in this case?" Moriarty asked. "Twice," Moore answered. "We were struck by lightning twice. These lightning strikes were two people who shared enough DNA with the suspect to be second cousin. One of them was Chelsea Rustad." Now, Moore had to build that family tree, but she was feeling good about her chances. "How long did it take you?" Moriarty asked. "Not as long as I thought it would," Moore said.
12 hours, right?
2 hours. It took her 2 hours. 2 hours.
Yeah.
Which is, like, if you've ever done genealogy work, that's crazy fast.
I remember the cop that was interviewed, the detective.
Yeah.
And he got a call, and he's like, how the hell did she, like, and she's having dinner with her kids and doing this, and no, she's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the genealogy stuff, if you have those close matches like that, and it's a well-documented family tree, then it can go fast. But if it's not well-documented and you're digging... Well,
I've seen a couple on her episodes. I don't remember. There's not a lot because COVID hit, but she's done both. But she describes exactly every step she takes on the show, how she finds it.
It's really neat.
It's
fun. It's like a treasure hunt.
It is. All right, so go on.
And suspect she had identified, it was Rustad's mysterious second cousin from Snohomish County, a truck driver named William Earl Tabbitt II. Tabbitt was 24 when Cook and Van Cuylenburg were killed and had grown up 7 miles from where Jay's body had been found. When Sharp got the call that Moore had found a name to match the suspect's DNA, he didn't believe it. "I'm like, really? You're not joking?" Sharp said. It had been nearly 31 years since the murders, and Sharp himself had spent decades on the case. Moore had found Talbot's name in just 2 hours.
I think she called him the next morning, and he was like, how did you get this in 12 hours? And she's like, actually, it took me 2 hours.
Yeah. That's the power of genetic genealogy, Moore told Moriarty. "But how sure were you?" Moriarty asked. "Very sure," said Moore. She had been practicing genetic genealogy for many years, and she knew her results were good because she had spent days double-checking them before telling anyone else. The name William Earl Talbot II meant nothing to Detective Sharp. Talbot had never been on a suspect list, and Talbot had a scant criminal record. Could he really be the person who had committed these very violent crimes? But when Sharp learned that Talbot had grown up just 7 miles from where Jay Cook's body was found, he said, "There's 8 billion people in the world, and you have a DNA profile to someone geographically that's in your backyard? That has to be a good tip."
Yeah.
So to confirm that tip, Sharp would have to match the DNA from the crime scenes to Talbot. A team tailed Talbot. Now, see, this is where I'm like, at this point, I'm good with all this other stuff, because a lot of people are against the genetic detective work, because
Why?
people don't consent. I don't know. Some people just have a really knee-jerk reaction to hearing that they're using DNA to track down criminals through a family tree.
But they're fucking criminals.
Well, yeah, exactly. Don't do something bad, and this won't happen to you.
Don't be a serial killer. Don't kill somebody. But from what I've seen and heard and read, when you upload your DNA on most of these sites, they're public, so cops can use them. And they use them to get the warrant to go get the DNA from the person.
Right. If my DNA helps solve a crime, I'm happy I helped.
Yeah.
Not everybody sees it that way, though. They see it as an invasion of privacy and blah, 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 blah. But, like I said, if my DNA helps find somebody, I think that's a good thing.
Don't kill somebody. Don't rape somebody.
If the cops showed up at my door, I would be happy to help them try and track down a killer. I see this as being no different. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now, back to our little article. This is the point where I think they kind of... I don't know. I'm a little concerned about their behavior at this point.
All right, hit me.
A team tailed Talbot, eventually retrieving a paper coffee cup that fell from his truck. Yep. When Sharp learned the DNA from the cup was a match, he said he got tears in his eyes. I can't believe it. It's so emotional. And then I'm like, yeah, we got him.
All right, so pause. What is your issue with that?
They snuck his DNA instead of asking for a warrant to get it.
That's how... No. That's how they got the warrant. They can't use the genealogy. So once... if somebody spits on the ground or throws a cigarette, that's why they watch them. They go through the trash. If it's a match, that's how they get the warrant to actually get the real DNA from their mouth.
Yeah, I don't know. I just... That part just is like a little, I don't know.
You throw away trash, cigarette butt, spit, cup, whatever, and it's all access.
Yeah, there's your DNA. Oh.
Yep. Yeah. No, but that's how they get the warrant. That's what I was saying before, so I get it.
Right. But yeah, and again, we're back to, don't rape and kill people, and this won't happen to you.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Scharf made an arrest, and after... Police were at Chelsea Rustad's front door looking for information about her distant cousin. Rustad told them what she knew about Talbot, which wasn't much. Talbot pleaded not guilty after his arrest, claiming the semen found at the crime scene was from consensual sex. He then went to trial in 2019 and a jury found him guilty. Talbot was sentenced to 2 life terms in prison without parole. He is appealing the verdict. Cece Moore said she's happy to have helped Cook and Van Kulenberg's families who had been living with so much grief and so many unanswered questions for so long. But she was also happy that her first case with law enforcement had been so quick to resolve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was her first case. Wow.
Yeah. And just for the record, is that the end of the article first?
No, there's a couple more paragraphs here.
Just so I don't forget. Parabon is also the company that does takes the DNA and can do a relatively fair picture of what they think somebody will look like.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can say they're Irish, Norwegian, they're this, they're that, and they can come up with, they can't say how fat they are or how skinny they are, but they come up with a good idea. That's how that Parabon's the ones that do that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know they did that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They've been doing it for years. And was it the Golden State Killer? Might have been.
Maybe.
Or there's another case with 2 brothers. Anyways, if you look at what age they were then and what picture they came up with, they do really good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see. I had doubts all these years. I was concerned about making this decision, and I finally decided to go ahead, Moore said. And the research just fell into place, which is unusual. I have never had another case where the pieces came together in only 2 hours. And so it does sort of feel like it was a sign, if you believe in those type of things, that I had made the right decision. Yeah. In the 3.5 years since finding Talbot on GED Match, Moore says she's gone on to locate nearly 200 unknown suspects and victims for law enforcement using genetic genealogy. Victims? She does victims too? That's a good idea.
Jane Doe's. John Doe's, Jane Doe's. Yeah, she does.
I think there was one near me where like a newborn baby had been tossed into the river. And they did like genetic genealogy recently.
Probably.
To find the mom.
Yep, probably.
Yeah.
And I wanted to apologize to the listeners before we go on. That is me. You hear sniffling. I can't help it. Sorry. I'm muting the coughs, but I can't. I'm trying to breathe.
Yeah. A lot of cred going around.
Oh, yeah. The COVID kicked my ass, and I had it mild compared to most people.
Yeah.
So. All right. Here we go.
And in the end, Restad did connect with family members she had never known of before, the families of Jay Cook and Tanya Van Cuylenburg. After Talbot's conviction, Restad attended the sentencing and got to meet Tanya and Jay's families and express her support. Restad couldn't help but notice that she was the only relative of Talbot's in the court that day. His dad wasn't there, his sisters weren't there, he had a family member in the audience, and I was there supporting the victims. The old Halloween photo that helped launch this journey has a whole different meaning to her now. By haunting evidence, it was taken in 1987, just a few weeks before Cook and Van Cuylenburg were killed. Yeah. Restad said she's proud that her DNA proved so useful and says to those who may feel nervous to unlock secrets in their own DNA, all it's going to show you is the truth and nothing more.
Right? There's so many people out there doing it that... Like, I'm sorry if you feel like you're being invaded, your personal space, or, but there's so many people out there, it doesn't matter now, because they're going to find you. Just don't rape anybody, don't be an asshole and rape anybody, or be a serial killer, or murder somebody, and you'll be all set.
I mean, yeah, it's just, I'm glad that a lot of these cold cases are getting solved. You know,
I am too.
Waiting that long to know who killed your family. That's And like the case of that baby where they found the mom. I mean, that one was heartbreaking for the people who found the baby. It was really heartbreaking for them. There was, she's got a really nice monument at the cemetery because so many people had cared for that baby, and then to find the mom and get people got closure on that.
So sad.
It was a sad thing.
It really is. It's sad if I have nothing funny to say.
Yeah, but I mean, I think this DNA, I think it's fingerprinting. Fingerprinting, when they first started doing that, they have the same thing, you know, but the bottom line, I think for my feelings is don't do something wrong and you won't have.
Yep. I agree. Be a stand-up person. And here's my last comment on it, because we can get into very tricky water here, but here's my last comment. When DNA was first starting to come out, everybody knows I watched True Crime. Right. So when it first started being used, I would have been one of those people that said, you can take my DNA, like voluntarily, if you don't store it. We're talking a long time ago. But now it's like, it's everywhere. If it's not me, it's going to be my sister, my aunt.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's so many people doing it. Like, I did mine. When did I do mine? I think it was 2015 that I did mine, actually. And yeah, there weren't very many people on there. I mean, like I had a few relatives, but not a whole lot. And now I have a whole bunch of them. And I just had some first cousins test, which was kind of exciting to
that's cool.
Have that close of a match because they'd been second cousins before that I had. And like one of them ended up being one of my grandmother's sisters, and she sent me a whole bunch of genealogy stuff when she found out I was into it.
Oh, so, see, that's cool.
Yeah, so
that is very, very cool.
Yeah, much love of genealogy over here. So
yep, I get it. I haven't done it yet, but I will someday. You know.
Okay. It's fun. It's fun.
Okay, so is that the end of the show?
That's the end.
All right, I thought so. I just wanted to make sure I didn't interrupt so much that I forgot that we ended the show. As always, thank you guys for listening. As it says in the intro, join our group. We just really started putting stuff in the group past, 2 months?
Yeah, the last couple months we've really started working with the group a little bit more. You get to hear, I share some funny memes, we share funny stuff in there. And
by the way, memes are memes. Just
I always say
for the listeners. I'm not correcting you.
My kids are like, it's supposed to be Mimi or something. I don't know.
It's me.
I don't know. I share these cute little pictures.
Here we go. Oh.
And you get an inside glimpse into my weird and twisted humor.
Yes.
That one I shared in there the other day, nobody else thought was funny.
Which one?
It's got like a picture of like, I think it's like Dave Myers or somebody, some Halloweenish character carrying like a dead body. And it's like a play on like the footsteps thing, Jesus. And it's like that point where you see only one set of footprints. That's where I carried you. And it's like Jason carried a dead body. I found it highly humorous.
I don't know if I saw it. Did I? It kind of sounds familiar. It depends. Yeah, sometimes we're hit or miss. Sometimes we share really bad stuff. And
I was laughing out loud.
I think it's funny.
God, that's freaking funny. And that's where I carried you.
She snorted.
That's so funny. I found that one, and nobody else thought that was funny.
I think it's funny. I really do.
So anyway, inside glimpse to the second twisted humor.
This is why we're friends. All right, we are ending the show, I promise, but I do have to say this. Even my mother thought this up until a week ago. Thought Rebecca was all prim and proper and so well behaved and blah, blah, blah. And she didn't quite understand what the connection was until I told her. I'm like, Ma, are you serious? You just don't know her that well. She's the good cop on the show. And she's like, yeah, but. And I'm like, Ma, she sent me dry shampoo and underarm wipes so I didn't smell like old man balls. And she's like, Rebecca did that? Like, she was like, she thought it was hilarious, but she's like, I figured that was something like Kelly, and then she named a couple other people would do, but Rebecca did that? And I'm like, yeah.
You gotta help a girl out.
You do. Like, I appreciate it, But no. All right, guys. We have kids waiting and dogs waiting for us. So, thank you. I hope you had a safe New Year's Eve, and hopefully 2022 is better.
Well, one can only hope.
I hope so. All right, guys, we'll be back in 2 weeks, so check us out then. Thank you for all the love and support. And don't forget to give us a like, rate us, review us. Every app has a different thing, but especially on Apple, if you can give us a review, that would be great. We appreciate it.
Yes, thanks, guys.